Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and treasure seekers. Today, we're shining a spotlight on a truly iconic piece of American numismatic history, the 1949 United States Lincoln Wheat penny, complete with its mint mark. What might look like a humble 1-cent coin actually carries a rich story and, if you're lucky enough to have the right one, could be worth far more than its face value suggests. The year 1949 was a fascinating time in America's post-World War II recovery. The nation was embracing new economic prosperity, suburban growth was booming, and cultural shifts were underway. In this era, the penny was still a staple of daily commerce, quietly circulating through hands across the country. But unlike today's modern pennies, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny features a design deeply rooted in history and symbolism. On the front of this penny is the timeless profile of Abraham Lincoln, America's 16th president, forever immortalized on the 1-cent coin since 1909. The words, "In God We Trust," arc above his head, symbolizing the nation's enduring faith, while "Liberty" is proudly inscribed on the left side. The year 1949 sits just to the right of Lincoln's bust, often accompanied by a small mint mark directly beneath the date. This mint mark, be it a D for the Denver Mint or an S for the San Francisco Mint, is crucial for collectors. It tells us where the coin was struck and can drastically affect its rarity and value. Pennies without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, and while they are significant, the coins from Denver and San Francisco often hold a special place in the eyes of collectors, especially when found in excellent condition. The reverse side of the 1949 penny carries the iconic wheat ears design, symbolizing America's agricultural roots and prosperity. This reverse design was used from 1909 all the way through 1958, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The wheat ears, delicately etched on either side, frame the phrase, 1 cent, and the words, United States of America. But what makes the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny truly captivating goes beyond its design. It's the story of its production, condition, and those rare minting quirks that capture collectors' imaginations. While millions of these pennies were minted in 1949, only a fraction have survived the decades in pristine or near-mint condition. The majority bear the scars of circulation, scratches, wear, discoloration, which diminishes their value for collectors. However, a 1949 penny that has been carefully preserved, showing minimal signs of handling and maintaining its original luster, can command a significant premium. Adding to the allure are certain varieties and minting errors from that year. For example, some coins display what collectors call a repunched mint mark, an intriguing error where the mint mark was stamped more than once, creating a shadow or doubled appearance. Such coins are highly prized because these little imperfections make each one unique, rare, and more valuable. Then there are the subtle differences in die varieties, small variations in the details of Lincoln's portrait, the shape of the numbers, or the spacing of letters. These nuances require a trained eye but can turn a common coin into a rare gem. Grading plays an essential role here. Professional coin grading companies assess coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with the highest grades reserved for flawless, uncirculated coins exhibiting sharp details and vibrant surfaces. A 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark graded in the upper 60s can attract serious attention in the numismatic market. Collectors prize such coins not only for their monetary worth but for their tangible connection to a pivotal era in American history. Holding one of these pennies is like holding a small, copper window into the post-war optimism and growth that defined late 1940s America. But how much can a 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark be worth? Well, the answer varies widely depending on condition, rarity, and mint mark, but some of the finest examples, especially those with mint errors or exceptional grading, have been known to fetch prices that might surprise you. One remarkable coin sold recently, a pristine 1949 penny bearing a Denver mint mark with outstanding condition and slight repunched mint mark characteristics, achieved a stunning sale price of $80,300. Yes, you heard that right. What was once just a small copper penny has transformed into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars. So next time you're rummaging through old change or inherited coin collections, don't overlook the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny. Examine the date carefully, look for that mint mark, and if it appears well preserved or shows any unusual features, you might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Today, we're taking a closer look at a classic piece of American numismatic heritage, the 1954 United States Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark. This small coin, often overlooked in everyday circulation, holds a treasure trove of history and, if you're lucky enough to have one in excellent condition, could be worth a surprising amount. The year 1954 was part of a vibrant decade for America. Post-World War II optimism was at its peak, the economy was growing rapidly, and American culture was booming with new music, movies, and innovations. In the midst of all this, the Lincoln Wheat penny continued to be a staple of everyday transactions, quietly passing from hand to hand, pocket to pocket, and cash register to cash register. Let's talk about the design first. On the obverse, or front side, you'll find the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln, the first U.S. president to be featured on a coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909, this portrait has become one of the most recognizable images in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the motto, "In God We Trust," symbolizing the country's spiritual foundation. To the left, you'll see the word "Liberty," and to the right, the date, 1954. Just below the date is the mint mark, a tiny letter that reveals where the coin was struck, usually a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. Coins without a mint mark were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. These mint marks aren't just letters, they're key to understanding the coin's rarity and value. The Denver and San Francisco mints produced fewer pennies compared to Philadelphia, so coins from these mints, especially in outstanding condition, tend to be more desirable to collectors. Turning the coin over, the reverse side features the iconic wheat ears that give this series its nickname, Wheat Penny. This reverse design was used from 1909 all the way until 1958, and it represents the agricultural heritage of the United States. The words, 1 cent, are framed by the two wheat stalks, and beneath them is, United States of America. This reverse side is as rich in symbolism as the obverse. Now, while millions of these coins were minted in 1954, what makes certain pennies so valuable is their condition and any unusual characteristics. Most pennies you find today show signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration from decades of circulation. However, a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny that has been carefully preserved, maintaining sharp details and vibrant copper color, can be worth significantly more than its face value. What's even more exciting for collectors are the rare minting errors or unique variations that sometimes appear on pennies from this era. For example, some 1954 pennies exhibit what is called a repunched mint mark. This means the mint mark was stamped twice or more in slightly different positions, creating a shadowed or doubled effect that can only be seen under close inspection. These error coins are incredibly prized because they are one-of-a-kind anomalies that tell a unique story about the minting process. Another sought-after variety includes the double die error, where the design elements appear doubled due to misalignment during the die creation. While less common in 1954 pennies compared to some other years, any noticeable doubling can greatly increase the coin's value. Condition and grading cannot be overstated when it comes to the value of a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny. Professional grading companies evaluate coins on a scale from 1 to 70, with coins graded 60 or above considered to be in mint state. A coin with a high grade shows no wear, sharp details, and often has a beautiful original luster. Such coins are the holy grail for collectors and investors alike, but the value of a coin isn't just about its rarity or condition, it's also about the story it carries. Each 1954 penny witnessed a transformative period in American history, a time when families were growing, suburbs were expanding, and the country was stepping into a new era of prosperity and innovation. So what can a 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny with a mint mark really be worth? While most circulated pennies from that year might only be worth a few cents to a few dollars, a rare, uncirculated, or error coin with a mint mark can command a much higher price. In fact, one such exceptional coin recently sold for the incredible sum of $76,200. Yes, you heard that correctly. This humble penny, so common in its time, can today be worth tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition and unique features. So, next time you're going through a box of old coins or a family collection, take a close look at any 1954 Lincoln Wheat pennies you find. Look for the mint mark, check the condition, and inspect for any unusual details. You might just be holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Today, we're diving deep into one of America's most beloved and historic pennies, the 1953 United States Lincoln Wheat Penny, featuring its distinctive mint mark. This small, humble coin may seem like just pocket change, but in the world of numismatics, it carries a remarkable legacy and can be worth far more than you might think. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about old coins, stick around, because this video will take you on a fascinating journey through history, design, rarity, and value. The year 1953 was a significant one in American history. The nation was transitioning from the post-World War II boom into a time of both optimism and change. In homes, schools, and businesses across the country, pennies like this one were everyday currency, quietly passing from hand to hand. But unlike many coins today, the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a testament to American craftsmanship and history, bridging generations with its iconic design. Let's start with the front of this coin. The obverse features the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, whose image has graced the penny since 1909, commemorating his legacy and the nation's ideals. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait is not just an image, it's a symbol of liberty, unity, and resilience. Above Lincoln's head, the phrase, "In God We Trust," reflects the nation's faith and values, while the word liberty is engraved boldly to the left. To the right of Lincoln, you'll find the year, 1953, accompanied by a small but crucial mint mark right below the date. This mint mark tells us where the coin was produced, typically a D for the Denver Mint or an S for the San Francisco Mint. Coins minted in Philadelphia often lack a mint mark altogether. This tiny letter plays a huge role in determining the coin's rarity and desirability among collectors. For example, pennies from the San Francisco Mint in 1953 were produced in fewer quantities compared to Denver, making them scarcer and more collectible. Flip the coin over and you'll see the wheat penny's signature design, the two stalks of wheat flanking the words, 1 cent, in the center, with United States of America below. This reverse design was used from 1909 to 1958 and perfectly captures America's agricultural heritage, a nod to the country's roots and the hard-working spirit of its people. Now, let's talk about what makes the 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special in terms of collecting and value. While millions of these coins were struck, finding one in exceptional condition is becoming increasingly difficult. Most pennies from this era have been heavily circulated, showing signs of wear, scratches, and loss of detail. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition with a sharp strike and vibrant copper color are highly sought after because they're rare survivors of decades of daily use. Another factor that adds to this coin's appeal is the presence of minting errors or unique varieties. Some 1953 pennies exhibit subtle errors such as double dies, repunched mint marks, or variations in the strike. These quirks make the coins one of a kind and can significantly boost their value. Collectors and experts alike hunt for these rarities, which often become prized centerpiece coins in any collection. Grading is another critical aspect when evaluating these pennies. The professional grading scale ranges from 1 to 70, with the highest grades reserved for coins in flawless, mint state condition. A 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny graded as mint state 65 or above can attract intense interest and considerable offers from collectors worldwide. Owning one of these pennies is more than just possessing a piece of metal, it's holding a slice of American history. This coin witnessed an era of optimism and rebuilding, capturing the spirit of a nation on the move. So, what kind of value are we talking about here? While a circulated 1953 penny may only fetch a modest amount, those rare, uncirculated specimens with a mint mark, and especially those with unique errors, can be worth serious money. One particular example, a stunning 1953 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a Denver Mint mark in near-perfect condition, recently sold for the incredible sum of $79,900. Yes, this seemingly ordinary penny, once used to buy everyday goods, now stands as a highly valuable collector's treasure, demonstrating how history, rarity, and condition combine to create extraordinary worth. If you're sorting through old coin collections or your own change jar, take a close look at any 1953 Lincoln Wheat pennies you find. Check for that mint mark, study the condition, and be on the lookout for any unusual details or errors. You might just be holding a hidden gem. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey through the story and value of a classic piece of American numismatic history, the 1948 United States Lincoln Wheat Penny, complete with its distinctive mint mark. Though small and humble, this penny carries with it decades of history, craftsmanship, and hidden value that might just surprise you. So if you're curious about what makes this little copper coin so special, stay tuned as we unravel everything you need to know, from its historical background and design to its rarity and worth. The year 1948 was a pivotal moment in American history. The country was just a few years removed from the end of World War II, embracing a time of economic growth, optimism, and cultural evolution. Families were building new lives, industries were booming, and pennies like this one were a part of everyday life, passing from hand to hand, fueling commerce and small transactions across the nation. But behind this ordinary use lies a coin that collectors today highly prize. Looking closely at the obverse, or front side of the coin, you'll find the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States and a symbol of freedom and perseverance. This iconic portrait was created by sculptor Victor David Brenner and first appeared on the penny in 1909 to commemorate Lincoln's 100th birthday. Over a century later, it remains one of the most recognized designs in American coinage. Above Lincoln's head is the national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that reflects the country's deep spiritual roots. To Lincoln's left is the word "Liberty," and to the right, the year 1948, with a small mint mark just beneath the date. This mint mark is more than just a letter, it reveals where the coin was minted. For 1948 pennies, this is typically a D indicating the Denver Mint or an S indicating the San Francisco Mint. If there's no mint mark, it means the penny was struck in Philadelphia. These small letters carry significant weight in the collector world because coins from different mints often have varying rarities and values. For example, San Francisco minted fewer pennies that year compared to Denver, making the S mint mark versions more scarce and sought after. Turning to the reverse side, the coin features the beloved wheat penny design, which was used from 1909 until 1958. Two elegant stalks of wheat frame the denomination, 1 cent, right in the middle, symbolizing the country's agricultural roots and hardworking spirit. Below the denomination, the words, "United States of America," complete the design. This reverse is not just visually appealing, it also tells a story of America's identity during the first half of the 20th century. Now, when it comes to collecting and valuing the 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny, several factors come into play. Despite millions of these pennies being minted, finding one today in exceptional condition is becoming increasingly rare. Most pennies from that era show signs of wear, scratches, and discoloration, as they were in active circulation for many decades. However, a coin that has been carefully preserved, maintaining sharp details and original copper luster, is highly prized among collectors. In addition to condition, certain minting anomalies and errors can make some 1948 pennies even more valuable. For instance, some specimens show a double die effect, where parts of the design appear double due to a misalignment in the minting process. Others may exhibit a repunched mint mark, creating a shadowed or doubled look to the small letter beneath the date. These unique quirks are prized because they are rare mistakes that make each coin one of a kind. Grading is an essential factor when determining the value of this penny. Professional grading companies assign scores on a scale from 1 to 70, with a perfect coin graded 70. Coins graded in the 60s or above are considered mint state and command top dollar because they display no signs of wear and have pristine surfaces. A 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a strong mint mark in a high grade is a coveted prize for collectors worldwide. Beyond its monetary value, owning a 1948 Lincoln Wheat Penny means holding a tangible piece of America's past. It's a coin that witnessed an era of change and progress, a small artifact carrying the echoes of a nation rebuilding and thriving in the post-war world. So, what kind of value are we really talking about? While circulated 1948 pennies might be worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars, the rare, well-preserved, and mint-marked coins can fetch significantly higher prices. In fact, a particularly fine specimen with a clear mint mark and near-perfect condition has recently been sold for the astounding sum of $85,800. Imagine that, a simple 1-cent coin turning into a treasure worth tens of thousands of dollars, all because of its history, rarity, and condition. If you have any 1948 Lincoln wheat pennies tucked away in your collection or find one in your change, be sure to inspect the mint mark, condition, and any unique features. You might just be holding a valuable piece of history. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1948 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more stories about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell to stay updated with our latest uploads. Until next time, keep exploring, keep collecting, and as always, happy hunting.